Hello everybody and welcome to my new series. I want to thank you guys for the love that you showed me during my downtime. I really appreciate that. So today we're rolling Assyria because in a recent game of mine, Assyria was my neighbor. He sent a siege tower my way and I was all but helpless. They come with cover 1, so shooting them down's not so easy, and when I tried attacking it with my warrior, all I did was shred my warrior. So let's take a look at this guy. It's a replacement for the catapult, except for that it's melee, which has all kinds of implications. There's an honor policy that expedites the building of melee units. City-state tribute is based off of melee strength, which, by the way, is 12 compared to the catapult's 8 ranged and 7. Now, they can only attack cities. However, like I mentioned with my warrior story, there is a counterattack, so that huge melee attack power is significant. In addition to cover 1, they also have extra sight, so whereas the catapult has 1, a siege tower has 3. And I really like the flavor of that because in real life these things were really tall, so of course I can see further. But the real claim to fame is their sapper promotion. And what that does is if your siege tower is adjacent to an enemy city tile, all of your units within 2 tiles of that siege tower have plus 50% attack power versus that city tile. That's more than 3 times the 15 that a great general would impart. And it also means if you have 2 siege towers near the city, they buff each other, so it's just absolutely crazy the potential here. Next, we are looking at their unique ability, which is, I think, is what sets Assyria apart from other early war civs. Because usually when this game is nothing but opportunity cost. So if you're building a bunch of military, you're usually lagging in other areas. Well, with Treasures of Nineveh, when you conquer a city, you get a tech that civ or city-state had that you do not have. This only happens once per city, so if after you conquer it it's taken back and you take it again, you don't get a second tech. And it doesn't count for cities that are acquired in a trade deal. You have to conquer them. And then finally we have the Royal Library, their unique building. It's a replacement for the library, but it has a great work of writing slot. And when that slot is finished or filled, units built in that city have plus 10 XP. So it's like having a barracks built right into the library. But it also means that Assyria is going to have more great work slots in general, so potentially more culture, more tourism, without having to build wonders. Alright, so let's get started. And before we look at that, what appears to be a beautiful map, I just want to cover the fact that we're playing on continents, large, immortal, difficulty, standard speed. I have Ancient Runes turned off. I did not turn on Raging Barbarians, and I did not select Strategic Balance, so we're going to have to fight for our horses and iron. And since I get asked it a lot, I'm playing with the Enhanced User Interface mod, as well as Info Addict in DLC form. There will be an end card to the video, and I'll put a link in the description to the video where I release these. I have been informed that there's been an update to the game or something and it doesn't work properly or whatever. I have not addressed that. I only play with these 2 mods, and that's why they work for me. Anyways, what we're looking at here is Plains River with desert nearby. All of the above is good, but we also have salt, and 3 of them. This is an S tier luxury because not only is the initial yield pretty great for an undeveloped tile, but once you do develop it, you add food and a hammer, whereas a mine normally only adds a hammer. You also add food. So these end up being 3 food, 2 hammer, 1 gold. That's phenomenal. So it's pretty clear where we want to settle, but just as a matter of best practices, we'll scout with the warrior the 1 turn that we can, get some more information. Right off the bat, we're seeing this would be good for Earth Mother, and we have desert folklore potential here. I think when you're playing Domination, Aurora, you don't need to count on developing your own religion. You can just conquer somebody else's. The AI tends to put together crappy religions, but then again, if you're 3rd, 4th, 5th to the table, your religion's going to probably be crappy too. But since we do have some potential here, and we're going to want to build a shrine anyways, just to get faith rolling, we might end up having a chance. I mean, we got 2 good Pantheon options, it would appear. Alright, we'll go ahead and cross the river, and I think it's pretty clear this is where we want to settle, so let's just get it over with. I'm going to choose production focus, and a quick explanation why that is. At the end of your turn, the AI counts up all your food, sees if you got a new citizen, and if so, it plots it based on your preferences here, and then it counts up all the end of turn production gold, etc. So by doing this, you can get any of these besides food or default, you get a little bit of min-maxing going on there. We, of course, want to work all the salt tiles first, although since we are production focused in this particular city, it's always going to populate to the wine, just because they all have 1 hammers, but this has 2 gold as opposed to these 1. We're always going to build the scout first, and of course we want pottery first, because both of these buildings are amazing to start off with. Because we're going domination, we could skip the shrine, but you really do need faith, and that's the only way to get it started. And of course, like I mentioned, we can leverage 1 faith per turn into 4 right away, or we'll see what's happening. Okay, so usually I scout with the warrior around the city just to get an idea of where we want to send the scout out when he comes out, but it's pretty clear with this patch of rough up here where he's going. Probably up on this hill, get some visibility, and do like a counterclockwise thing. So we can go a little wide with the warrior, just to get a more thorough picture around this river. Unfortunately, the desert river we've uncovered thus far looks pretty barren as far as resources. Oh, yep, that's what we're looking for. This is why I wanted to cast a wider net, so this works out really well. We'll take a step. It's Byblos. We are first to meet them. Maritime, they have wine like us. And I always try to push in 1 tile, especially if the city's not on a hill, just so we get that. We'll trespass 1 turn. It's only 6 bad rep. It wears off in 6 turns. Or since this is hostile, maybe it takes longer. I don't know. But that way you just get a clearer picture of their tiles. And it looks like this would be an okay one to steal workers from. The wine would be a bit of a problem just because zone of control, river. Extraction would be somewhat hard, but these river tiles you shoot off this way, or, well, no, I guess both it would be that way. Okay, ooh, this is some good news here. Alright, so it's a unique luxury, number 1. Number 2, it is a mining luxury, which is something we already planned on researching for our salt. And if we get Earth Mother, it's an Earth Mother luxury. And look at this, it's turn 6. So there's a really good chance, that's a bad Pantheon by the way, there's a really good chance that the Celts are here. It's not 100% because I have had games where I bump into 2 city-states first and they're religious, and then that just basically gives me a free Pantheon, but pretty good indication. So let's keep on scouting. Another mining. So we could settle a city in here because it does look like the river cuts through here, and we have plains up here. If it's desert, that's fine. Yeah, we could settle down here and have 4 luxuries between our first 2 cities. That is not common. Alright, we'll hop up on the hill here. More Aurora, we kind of knew that. This looks like hill. Yeah, come on. Yep, so we'll go a little wide, see what we can see. Hey, another city-state. I'll take it. Okay, Plains River, wheat, and that's kind of important here because if we ever wanted to work, when you're going to play domination war, you know, obviously gold is the lifeblood, so if we did settle a city that had these, we would like to be able to work both of them for the gold per turn. Holy smokes, 5th luxury. 2 salt. Yeah, so we would settle somewhere in here, grab all this stuff. So fertile capital, fertile land between us and our nearest, who's exactly 2 cities away. Wow. Okay, so it's turn 8, and I think our path is clear. That's phenomenal. Alright, Hanoi, we're first to meet them. They're militaristic, and they offer African forest elephant. Interesting. Alright, so we'll push in just for that extra visibility. If you see the cloud here, we got an awkward shape here, and it doesn't look like the warrior's going to be able to continue scouting. So maybe we have the scout come around here, clear all this up. We'll have to see. So, I guess let's start cutting back. Actually, no, there's a hill here. If I had thought of that first, we could have come here, got a little more water visibility. That's unfortunate. Although it's probably not important. Alright, we knew that. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so worker, flatland with double river here. That river's going to be a little bit of a problem. So approaching it will be a little tricky. But this is definitely a horse tile. And for some reason they didn't want to develop it. So let's see what that's about. Cross back over the river. Okay, he's probably going to develop the gold. Alright, and we would have gold by the time we conquered this, so really here the marble is the saving grace, I guess you could say. Alright, step up on the hill. We gotta start cutting back. Ooh, another city-state. These two have silver, whereas the first one we met, Byblos, had wine like we have. Alright, pottery is finished. Malacca first to meet at mercantile. Alright, not bad, not bad. We'll push in the one time. Let's see. Alright. So, the plan here is to beeline mathematics so we can get siege tower. So we're looking for growth and science. So I think normally the right path would be pottery into writing. But we do have 3 salt, and developing the salt adds food, which is growth. And it does look like we're about to acquire a worker. So I'm going to go mining first. And something about that just kind of feels wrong. Rather than wasting all of our mobility here, we'll take a little side step just to get some eyes. Yeah, these rivers are kind of a problem. I was going to say it's a bit awkward because in some of my recent off-camera games, I've been actually going straight into writing after pottery, even if it does offset my ability to put luxuries online. Simply because, ooh, Mount Kalish. Alright. It's almost 2 cities away. If we were playing any other game, I would probably rush this just to get a guaranteed religion, but since we know we're going to be dominating, we don't have to do that. Although Plains River, it would be possibly worthwhile to settle. I don't know. But we need to start cutting back, be a little more thorough with our cloud removal. Well, there's another 6 unique luxuries. Oof. And the funny thing is, I know we can't burn Palanque down, but if we did, settling in here would get all 3 of these, in addition to the extra salt. We have so much salt, I kind of wish we weren't going to be playing domination, but that's okay. Alright, on to Shrine. Let's see. Well, can't capture it this turn, obviously. We'd zone of control at the declaration of war. So let's just cast a wider net, stay within range. Alright, so we saw one of the warriors retreat, another warrior's here. He's done with the gold. So it's now or never if we want to grab him on this tile. And the extraction process would take us away from our city, plenty wide. If he's staying here, we'd have to go way wide, at which point we're almost guaranteeing we're going to run into barbarians, which is going to be a problem because coming here with as many warriors as we've seen buzzing around, he's going to hit us and hit us. I just think the horses and of course the marble would be easier extraction points. So let's step here. Ooh, this is interesting knowledge. These mountains come crashing right into the coast. So by the time we conquer it, we can assume the border's going to grow like here or something. And we'd have a strategic wall from the coast all the way up to here. Another city here, city here. There's a barbarian. Alright. So my plan was to step here and then step here. Now we can actually see... Oh! We probably could have taken it this turn. We would have gotten bombarded. He probably has a warrior here hit. We'd still have to extract, so they would have come here. We wouldn't have been able to pillage step, because then we get attacked and pursued. And possibly blocked into a corner. So here's hoping that other extraction points. Because if you think about it, like, let's say he moves here next, which is a very good likelihood, even if he was going to... Well, he might move here. But let's say he moves here, right? And we capture it there, and there's no zone of control here. The amount of turns it would have taken us to go around versus the amount of turns we got to wait for him to get in a better position is probably in our favor. I certainly hope so, because passing up on a civ... I mean, we're about to declare war against him anyway, so this is just basically free money, even if it's almost zero. Like, we probably just got one gold there. Okay. Should have addressed the prompt first. Alright, so we're exposed, but we're on a hill, and we're going to be probably crossing through the city to go do our original counterclockwise thing now that we've uncovered nearby. So even if we get hit, we'll just heal up and keep going. Alright, we definitely want to shoot that, and we can see that he may end up here next turn. So let's go ahead and move that just to reduce the chance. Oh my gosh. All of his warriors are on this side of the river. That is fantastic. So of course we want to step first. Alright, this is perfect because the whole problem I was kind of contemplating is that he really seemed to like this hill. Between the hill and the city tile, we're zona controlled. We can't, you know, so it would have been bombard, hit, while the other ones get into position. It probably would have been bad, but if he's going to bring all of his warriors on the other side, then of course we're going to just take it and run away. We'll get shot. We'll probably get hit one time across the river, so not too bad. And there's a barbarian about to antagonize him, too. Alright, so let's get these guys out of here. Now we're along his border, so he can still see us. He might pursue, but after that, not so much. Hey, he did come here, so there's that. And we did get hit, so there's that. Another Pantheon. We'll just probably end up in the city tile, heal up for a turn. Yeah. Alright, so let's... it's being ornery. There we go. Make sure we keep that. Alright, so this would be a good time to talk policies. Basically, when I was researching how to play Assyria, Carl's guide had recommended opening liberty into collective rule, and then honor into military caste. I think he said go on to professional army before filling up the liberty tree. And in preparation for this series, I did try a game where I played straight liberty, straight honor, and then this blend. And this blend, let's call it a split open, did feel best. So we'll do this. The advantages here are going to be, with collective rule, we get the settler without having to devote any hammers, which means we can work on the early game buildings, and then military, which is nice. And then in the event that we do want to build future cities, you know, for staging grounds or strategic purposes, we don't have to have as much downtime. And then of course the production and the culture per city is nice because we're going to be having lots of cities. And then of course by the time you get up here in honor, the culture helps offset the split open, and the happiness for garrisoned units is going to help because we're going to be going a little wide. Although from what we've seen with as many luxuries as we've seen, I'm not so sure that happiness is going to be a problem anytime soon. But that remains to be seen. Alright, so we'll go ahead and take a turn to heal up here. It sucks that we did not shoot that guy down. Is this going to... Oh, okay. It played nice that time. Probably because we had it previously locked in. Alright. Let's get rid of this nuisance once and for all. There we go. Okay. Workers, look at that. As soon as we get mining, we're going to have a worker in town that can start on the mine. Flawless. Alright, let's come up here. He could cross the river too. I know there's a camp here, so that might be worthwhile. But I'm thinking his next mission is probably going to be coming down here to get a worker. And if we heal up in this tile, all the better. On the other hand, we could park in the city tile. Yeah, that might be the way to go. Although, yeah, if we abandon the worker to go into the city tile and then he's exposed, healing the 20 right now would be better than healing 25 the next turn. Okay, so since my mining is done, we're definitely going to go writing now. Get started on that salt mine. We'll produce a granary, and we'll come up here for scouting purposes. Alrighty, let's see. Go 1, 2, hill. It's on Aurora, so the marble's not quite as useful, and we already have marble down here, or will. Let's try making peace with him. There's no reason to maintain the war. We haven't met any other civ yet, so one of the advantages to staying at war is that the other civs we meet would not know that we declared war, whereas if we make peace and then... I'm just looking at, we're going to have multiple salt and we still have nobody to trade it with, so having him as a trade partner. It's not like we're going to be able to pick up another worker. We're going to be coming down here for a worker. I mean, these tiles are exposed, and we will be settling here. That's the biggest problem for me, is that if we're settling here, there could be constant conflict here, and we're behind, militarily speaking. So let's try making peace with him so that we have a trade partner. I don't know what he would pay for. Is that 32? Okay, good. This is a good opportunity to take a lump sum. We don't need an embassy back with him because we already know where his city is, and the fact that once we have what am I trying to say here? In the event that we actually need, like, spare, like, say we have Assault and he only has 5 or 6 gold to give, we can just get the embassy for free, basically. Not that it's going to do anything. I just saw it as an opportunity to grab some money, since we know we don't need fair trade. 3 pop. There we go. I see this archer hanging around, so I'm going to heal him up again. And then we'll say boom. Boom. Uh-oh. Another archer. And a camp. Luckily, the formation is that they can't both get us. And after we get shot, we can retreat to the other side of the hill, where we will not be seen. Okay, so we'll go ahead and hit it. Attack it even though it's across the river. Weaken it. This is good for getting this guy some XP. You can see he's already going to get his first improvement. Well, our first city is flatland. Second city is flatland, hopefully. Even if we have to settle over here, like if he settles this first, and his capital is flatland. So even though I take this instinctively, I think on this map this makes sense. Because we're going to be producing multiple... we definitely want the XP, and this weakens him, so maybe we take less damage here. And now we're back to where we started, about 50 HP. Right, so... Oh! 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 Look at this! Yep. Wow, what luck. Okay. So, this is almost certainly a wonder. There's a wonder, I don't know its name, but it always presents exactly like this. There'll be coast with a singular mountain tile, and it's got a land tile outside of the coast, so you can't, like, walk to it ever, unless you get, like, embarkation. But for that reason, like say it was here, it's very easy to miss because, you know, usually you don't scout the coast so thoroughly because you want to be able to keep moving. But this is basically telling us it is there. We can't go here because we get hit. Got to come here. And unfortunately, it's right around the time we're going to have a worker here, and he's damaged. So I don't know how we're going to pick up that worker. Oh, yeah. He's spooked because of the archer, which is dead. I don't think it should work that way, but it's known. It is known. So there we go. All right. On to this policy. That'll get the granary up quicker. I'll go ahead and heal up here. Heal up here. I don't know who's going to be able to get to a worker first. Looks like Pakal just planted his second city, and it's not between us, so that's pretty good. And now I'm really glad that we made peace, because now, since the scout looks like he's kind of, this looks like coast. We know this is coast. He can cut through here and then like go to the south side and start investigating. We do want to cast a slightly wider net. We don't want to meet too many people, but we do have multiple copies of Salt, or will. So if we can meet somebody, that would be okay. Heal up. That's good enough. So let's take a quick... We risk getting hit here, but... Hey, +1 happiness, right? Rock of Gibraltar, that's what it is. Alright. Yeah, it's not a bad tile. It's just hard to work with because it always presents coastally like that. There's no point in continuing to heal, so we can come here. Okay, so we meet... Oh, we don't have writing yet. That's right. Okay. We meet Venice. Where do we meet Venice? Oh, there he is. Okay. Looks like he got chewed up by that archer we saw earlier. Granary is done. We got 3 turns till writing, so let's go ahead and build another warrior, especially since our warrior has left potential home defense duties. We did not get hit here. That's pretty good. We might as well grab... Let's see, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yeah, we might as well grab this extra diagonal of his... Oh! That sucks. Well, okay. No, we're about to research writing. I think the proper play here with the scout is to zoom ahead. We're going to get hit again, but then we can get to safety. Oh, but then the problem is that... Oh, goodness, this is bad. So let's move with the warrior first. Let's see what we can see. All right. Worker is out. We can scale it with the warrior. So yeah, if we zoomed ahead here, unless this is a hill, we would have to zoom ahead into bombard range, and we're about to declare war. So, and this is unfortunate because there's no place to run away. We either have to stay in range of this guy or be in range of this guy. And if we are in range of this guy, which I would actually prefer because it's more experience, they could like pinch and then we're dead. So we have to just let this guy hit us again. So let's go this way so we can get a little bit of extra visibility. And then we'll come here. We'll just head into the city and heal up quickly. And then scout around here like I was saying. That's a bit unfortunate. No. No, I'd rather have your capital and city and a couple free techs. And if you could plant more cities for us in the meantime, that would be fantastic. Alright, so we get a promotion after all, which is nice because then it means we don't actually have to retreat to the city to heal up in a beneficial manner. We'll step here for some visibility. And here's our worker. Yay. Alright, so we do have to keep an eye. I was going to say we should use him to keep an eye on the archer, but we only really have one. I suppose we could jump up here. I didn't see where the brute went, unfortunately. And I don't know. Although we do have a worker, so we can radar. We can figure that out. I have no idea where that archer went. Here's the archer, presumably. There's the warrior. Okay, so we can go this way just to be safe. Alright. Science. Writing is done. So let's go ahead and trade embassies here. Sucks that he doesn't have the money for our salt. Maybe they'll look different now that we have duplicate. Nope. Alright, we're going to mathematics. I think we have time to do animal husbandry first. So we should definitely do that. Find out where the horses are. He's safe to heal up here. It's not like there's any hills in the second ring that we could be shot from. So let's just do that, because it's going to be a little quicker than running into city tiles for as long as we can. Alright, so we're up to 4 pop here. Now we're working max gold per turn, which is great. Peace treaty expired. Alright, on to Royal Library. Let's see here. He's bringing the worker back. So with this guy, we know there's a camp here. Maybe we start going to get some XP. Because really, to our home base, this is the only real local threat. Everything else we'd probably have a little time to react to. Alright. Take a peek from the hill. Alright, looks like it's already been damaged. Malacca wants Hanoi bullied. I mean, we can do that. It's just going to take a while. At least until the first siege tower. We could come up here for more visibility, but I'd rather stay a little safe, because if there's a barbarian here, we don't want to get hit more. And it's nice that we're able to heal up like this, so that we don't have to run back to the city tile. Alright, one more time. Should be good. Cross here, here. River farms will be our next priority. I don't see a reason not to hit this. We could say, oh, let's wait for the other guy, but here we can heal up in place. He'll probably come here, and then we'll be in a little bit of trouble, but as long as we're fortified, we should have the advantage. And if not, we can just withdraw when it becomes a problem. So he'll come here to heal on that side of the river. Let's get that farm going. Hanoi seeks investors. We're not going to do that either. Okay, we are free to continue scouting. Alright, so let's go. Yeah, I just don't want to get close to where the archer might be. Oh, he doesn't want to hit us. That's good for us. Malacca under attack. We don't care. Heal. Remain fortified. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Since we gouged them for the embassy is just free here. This is not a great deal. We would accept 5 if that's all they had, and it is. So, and it's a little bit nicer when you consider that
Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he...
We're going to be warring him anyway, so we just get it right back. Alright, so... I guess fortify one more turn. This is getting to be a hot spot, and he's trying to contribute, so that's odd. Okay, all the salt is developed. On to archery. Alright, so let's go boom. Boom, just because we can. Obviously, if he was going to have a worker out at this point, we'd be scaring it away. It wouldn't come out, but I think we can afford to do. Oh, okay. So it'll get shot, but then it'll probably hit us, and that's fine. We can just tank it right here. We have survivalism now. All right, we'll bring this guy out, and let's go ahead and get the experience here. Next turn, he can go here, flank, and go from there. All right. Other river farm. We're 2 turns away. So maybe we'll have this warrior back up just to ensure that we can get our settle down. Hey, look at that. Pantheon time. Let's go with flat on this guy too. Religion has been founded. That's more likely to suggest that it was the Celts on turn 6 rather than bumping into a couple of religious city-states. Okay. There's some desert here. We would have a couple desert tiles here, but I think Earth Mother is the runaway for a very long time to come. It's not like we need to deprive somebody else of desert folklore. Although desert here, I wasn't thinking about this city also. Earth Mother is more front-loaded, and I think I would prefer that right now. So yeah, we're already up to 4 faith per turn now. Looks like we got time for one more warrior. And like I said, we can just tank this here. We'll have to keep an eye on him though, because the fortify command just ignores them indefinitely. We'll fortify here because I want to bring this warrior over. Let's do it this way. That way we can come in as flanking support or swoop over here. Because it might be all of our... I was going to say all of our civilians. Excuse me, my PC distracted me there. Alright, so we finish this up. We get this guy out. There we go, so he can cross here, get started on the copper right away. Which means I do think we need somebody swooping over here. Got to keep an eye on him. Assur has grown. Right there you go. Lock of searches for science. Okay, well we might be on that, I don't know. Alright, lots to keep eyes on here.
After the arrow.
Archery is finished, so on to wheel. We're pretty much where we would want to be here, so let's keep on scouting. Alright, actually stepping here actually showed us something. Ooh, we could get double hit here. That's possibly a problem, but I think we have it under control. So this drops next turn regardless. We'll have him get over here for that. Where he's at, he can man either station, which we might need to because of this guy. So I'm just going to keep him there. There's no reason to continue to fortify with this guy. Let's take another shot at the camp. Worst case scenario, he swoops in and we get the flanking bonus. So it looks like we can finish that camp off next turn regardless. Unless it spawns something. Sir demands spices. Maya and Venice are now friends. That's not good. Alright, we'll drop this city here. Production folks, I'm going to go ahead and buy this tile. The governor does not like hills. And I want it to be that when we grow to 2-pop, we get 2 free hammers, 2 free gold, and a free faith. I'm going to build a monument first. Bring him up here. Looks safe. We did not get double shot here, which is great, because now we can zoom past. We might get hit here, but... Oh yeah, and I never did mention this. Cotton is luxury 7. So just in our immediate sphere of influence, we'll have access to a lot of luxuries. Let's see. So this camp is finished now, right? Looks to be that way. Yes, okay. So there we go. Alrighty. So there is a camp over here. We could have these 2 warriors start heading that way, I suppose. Get these guys experienced up. We have 17 turns currently until we research mathematics. Then at least 1 siege tower being built, and then the logistics of moving over. So we do have time. We don't want people just sitting around doing nothing. He can retreat over here to act as support for here or here. So let's do this and this. And that leaves us with the decision of what to build. And since our second city is down and we're past the half-hour mark, this is where I'm going to call it. And I'm going to leave on this fork in the road. We can either start building our archers, or we can build a settler with the intention of settling over here. We haven't scouted over here. All we know is Plains River, Cocoa, and Kalish. Now here's my thoughts. I guess we should cover the unit supply real quick. You get 5 for playing on Immortal. Every city you drop is or excuse me, not drop. Every city you have is +2. And then Empire-wide population for every 2, you get 1. So you can see here 5 and 1, that's 6. Divided by 2, we have 3. This is how many units you can have total before you start incurring 10% production penalties incrementally. Here's the amount that we have. That includes warriors, scouts, workers, even trade routes count this. So we need this number to continue to grow by taking over cities, increasing our population. In my limited experience of playing War, Domination, Honor, Tree, you need 3 cities as a starting base just so you have the unit supply necessary to attack. However, we are Assyria, which means we have siege towers. Now, that doesn't mean they can just waltz in by themselves. You do need a supporting army to do a little crowd control, but I'm guessing you probably need fewer units overall. And since our first 2 cities are extremely fertile... Oh, we never did scout for horses. I'm glad to see there's 4 there. Gosh, where was my brain? 2 there, 4 there. Okay, so we'll get lots of horses taking over his lands, and 4 of our own. Okay, that's good to know. But what I was getting at is two fertile cities and the fact that we're Assyria, we might not need a third city. And because we're not researching calendar right away, because we're beelining mathematics, in fact, I don't even see us, if we can get away with it, researching calendar after mathematics. I want to go into construction, into ironworking. Let's beef this army up. And like Domino, we got to find more civs. Obviously, Venice is kind of far away. A march to them right away would be a problem. Um, so yeah, if we settle a city here, yeah, we'd have at two pop probably. We would get Kalish. We'd have Kalish to work. We'd probably have to buy the tile, so there goes some little bit of gold. So that would kind of offset it, but it's going to be a while before we can get to the cocoa. And the fact that the city would stagnate at two pop also isn't the greatest. So I don't honestly know whether we should build a settler now to settle over here or get started on the archers. And that's what I want you guys to decide. So let me know what you think. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're excited about this series. I know I am. This is a phenomenal start. Please leave me a like and subscribe if you feel that I've earned it. And I will see you guys in the next part. Take care.